let's get to work, guys. Thank you for joining us. We're going to start with a little MACtion here. We're going to start with a little MACtion. We're going to start with Eastern Michigan, Kent State. Kent State opening up as 6.5-point favorites at Bet365. Quickly goes to 6. This total sitting at 62.5. Kent, Ohio, 56 Fahrenheit clear, 8 miles per hour. I believe that I wasted a bunch of time getting the weather for every game on Saturday. And I only say that because it's absolutely gorgeous. It's going to get warm everywhere across America. Absolutely beautiful weather for the week. Last year, Eastern Michigan went 6-7. Last year, Kent State beat Eastern Michigan 34-26 to end the year. Chris Creighton, Eastern Michigan head coach, will be calling the plays on offense for the first time in his 7-year stint as head coach. Eastern Michigan does not have a running back on its roster where the game started. EMU tailbacks opened the 2020 campaign with 10 career rushing attempts. Their starting line is going to be strong, returning 3 seniors. Their defense is strong with seniors returning there. So they have hope. Junior quarterback Preston Hutchinson saw action in 8 games with 1 start as quarterback. That start was against Western Michigan, completed 43 of 57 passes for 462 yards, 3 touchdowns overall. Last year, Kent State went 7-6, bringing back 6 offensive starters, 5 defensive starters. Senior quarterback Dustin Crum returns. Crum threw for 2,625 yards, 20 touchdowns, 2 picks. Also ran for 707 yards on 168 attempts and 6 touchdowns. All right, let's get it started. We'll go with John Ryan. Kent State opening up MACtion at home against Eastern Michigan. You have an angle?
I do. The betting line here at 62.5 and -6.5 indicates a final score of roughly 38-24. I'm sorry, not 38-24. It's 34-27 or 28. Okay, so relatively high scoring game. The MAC is already known for that. In this case, I think the higher the scoring goes, it favors Kent State. And you did very well there mentioning Chris Creighton, head coach of Eastern Michigan. He's going to be calling the plays this year. And that's good because they only have 5 returning starters on offense, and they have a new quarterback under center. I don't think Kent State blows them out here in this situation. But again, it's the pivot point of 28 points. So Kent State here, when Eastern Michigan scores 28 or more, they're 47-23 against the number last 10 years. And when both teams score 28 or more points, they're 26-19 against the spread the last 10 years. It's a little bit more even. When they allow 500 or more total yards, this is where it gets ugly. They're 13-47 against the spread last 10 years. If they allow 550 or more, 6-28. So you get the point here. And in my initial analysis here, I like to be leaning towards Kent State in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's Dustin Crum is the big advantage point here. Connor Mack, we start MACtion with Eastern Michigan at Kent State. You have an angle?
Yeah, just kind of what John Ryan said. 2 kind of even teams, but I think the difference here with Kent State is Crum. I think in that fast-paced offense, I'd lean with them here, -6.5. That'd be my look. I think they can win this game, and it's just a lean. Haven't gone to the window or anything, but I'd lean Kent State.
Noli knows Eagles, Golden Flashes. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is the first-time matchup here first of the season here for both of these teams. So what I look for is the consistency of what you're bringing back. Are you bringing back guys that are familiar with the system or guys that are familiar with the team? And that's Kent State and only Kent State here. Kent State brings back their top quarterback, their top receiver, their top running back. And you got to also remember that Crum is a running quarterback. He led the team with over 700 yards rushing. The guy has 20 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions. He played phenomenal last year. They were good down the stretch on a 5-0 ATS run. And I think they're the team that returns significantly more starters. There's question marks with Preston Hutchinson on the other side for Eastern Michigan. Defense has been an issue for them. And to me, in my opinion here, the only way to do is to lay the points here with Kent State. I like the way they finished off the season, and I expect them to come in here and keep the ball rolling here. So I would agree, Kent State.
Kent State at -6. I know it's very difficult to figure out totals when you haven't seen teams, but this is a pretty high opener. I was a little surprised it was quite this high at 62.5. What do you think of hearing that number, Noli? Do you think that is around what you expected because of how fast Kent State moves the ball, or is this a surprisingly high number?
It's a MAC number, right? So like John Ryan alluded to it, the MAC tends to go over significantly more. I mean, with the exception of NIU in the past, not last year, but previously. But in this spot, I mean, I would lean towards the under in the sense that it's opening week, and you saw an opening week for all of college football. The unders were hitting. The unders would come through because the offense is behind, but you can have support tackling as well. We've also seen that. To me, the defense for Eastern Michigan is not that great. Kent State pushes the pace a lot. They're not exactly a lockdown defense themselves. So, I mean, I'd have to see. I need to see more. Like you said, we don't have a lot of info right now.
Alrighty, so the panel believing in Kent State to get their season started off by a win of more than 6 points.